tonight's going to be a long one for Springfield City Aldermen. We'll, of course, do what we can to bring you the highlights during tomorrow's Springfield City Council roundup. But they've got two meetings tonight and a possible $170+ million budget they could pass. So a special meeting tonight, and then the committee of the whole will also have to handle various ordinances up for consideration. And to talk about all of what could come up is Springfield Alderman Shawn Gregory. He joins us by phone here on the WMAY Morning News Feed. I'm Greg Bishop at 7:11. Alderman, thanks for taking time with us this morning. It's going to be a long one for you guys tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, this is the job, and it's a unique year and unique time. So we always got to be ready to go.
And I think one of the things that is most notable is, after 2 years of the pandemic, where at the beginning of it, everybody was really concerned there would be extremely tough times ahead. Of course, we had a lot of federal tax dollars coming to Springfield and all over the place, both to private sector and public sector. But the top line here is you guys have a balanced budget here with a lot of reserves on hand. Talk a bit about where we thought we were 2 years ago and where we are now heading into what could be a final vote for tonight's budget.
Well, I think overall, I think when it first came down, we had to tighten our budgets, but we wasn't in horrible shape then. And I really think it really speaks to the resiliency of people and the resiliency of not only Springfield, but this country. To really go through something like that and come out fighting for, to continue on with life. And that's what we have to continue to do. And, day by day, as this thing still lingers on, we look for more ways to continue to do that.
So we've got, of course, $170+ million budget. We've got $15 million of ARPA funds that are available. We will talk a little bit about that. And, of course, $17 million that's still expected. I believe that's coming sometime this year. But regardless, a lot of dollars. There's also a lot of amendments that could be heard tonight. Alderman Shawn Gregory with us on WMAY at 7:13, about 54 degrees, and looks like the rain's lifted, but Alderman, tell us about what amendments you're looking for that are part of nearly 2 dozen that could come up tonight.
Well, I had probably about another 2 dozen, but the 3 that I wanted to really focus in on, because many of the stuff has to come back as ordinance anyway. I wanted to focus on a portion of cannabis funds that is different from our tax amount that we collect here. Is from the states, what the state pushes down to our local distributor fund that are sort of earmarked for crime prevention, equipment for our officers, etc. So I really wanted to dip in that bucket and really put some early towards crime prevention. We got a new chief and really revamp our focus deterrent program. I got some thoughts on how we can really make this thing better and really see some good results over time. My second one was hold on, let me go back through my head. I know me, Keisha, and Roy, we all joined in on a community revitalization grant. The final ruling from the Department of Treasury was to open it up for vacant lots, community beautification, and things of that nature. So I looked to work with our economic development department to create a grant program for all low and moderate income census tracts to be able to draw from, whether it's community groups, whether it's individuals or churches, etc.
And that would be from federal ARPA funds. ARPA. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That would be from ARPA funds. Yes, sir. And then my final one. Gosh dang it behooves me.
Come on, Alderman. I mean, it's just one of 2 dozen different ordinances on, I don't even know how many thousands of line items there are in $170+ million budget.
Yeah, so I got the police one, I got the community revitalization, and our city park partnership, continuing that. And I look to draw that from our CBDG funds. It fits the national narrative. So mine are pretty direct, nothing to really, hurt us in any way or set any ongoing expenses or anything like that. We have some wonderful developments already, and from a city perspective, We want to incorporate youth employment and really activate the space as we did last year. We had a wonderful time, so I'd look to expound on that and really get it going earlier. Last year we were a little late, so that's why I put it into the budget. I really want to give adequate time for us to get these young people all through training and signed up and really make a big impact with some major developments coming for the community.
So we'll be watching that closely. Of course, you just heard about 3 different amendments that Springfield Alderman Shawn Gregory is going to be looking to bring forward. There could also be, Alderman, some discussion about the fire department. They've got a lot of costs, of course, not just personnel and overtime. They've got pensions. You're looking at possibly several different new firehouses that could be built with this budget. But also, it looks like they need some big money for equipment. What do you see happening with the fire department's budget?
I think we're going to have a long discussion about it. For me, I want to find that balance. When we talk about firehouses, I mean, from my understanding, heck, the last firehouse was built probably maybe, 20 years ago, 25 years ago. It's been some time. So those things don't come around too often. And if we can put it together, we need to do that for sure. We have some firehouses that we must look at addressing. They won't be really new to relocations, like 6. I think 8 is maybe in a little different situation now that Starbucks is moving, but we still need to look at it. The southwest corner, we talk about response time, so we need to look at it. So me, I'm definitely open to 2 of those firehouses being done. I think 6 definitely has to be done, no doubt about it. They've shown how old some of our equipment are. I think we need to definitely address that while we can and find good balance in it. Do I think we'll get everything that everyone wants? No, but how do we get to a good balance is what I'll be looking for.
And how do you do that on like a revolving basis, right? Instead of having just one big year where you're spending $6+ million on equipment, isn't there a way to start planning for this year by year instead of it being one huge lump every 10 years or so?
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and that's sort of what we have tasked the chief with. But I think right now we need to take a nice chunk out of some of the things that we need while we got a chance, because you never know what the future will hold, and we need to be conservative in that matter. So while we got a little room, let's make a nice chunk in it and see how we can make this long-term thing work better for the city than it has in the past.
We're talking with Springfield Alderman Shawn Gregory here now, 7:18 on the WMAY morning news feed. I'm Greg Bishop. And Alderman, one of your amendments does deal with some ARPA dollars, but there's still going to be $10+ million there, and then the $17 million more that still is yet to come from federal tax dollars. What's the conversation been? I know we've heard a little bit about it, kind of piecemeal from this alderman or that alderman looking to, do infrastructure here or there. But do we have any more kind of solid policy initiatives or projects that the mayor's laid out that you've seen?
Well, I know one of the big things that I look to use some, ARPA funds in the future. That, like I say, everything has to come for ordinance is our housing and redevelopment and new housing. That's going to be a big thing. I think we need to put some money towards that. Of course, infrastructure, we've already put, for my ward, there's $1.5 million worth of infrastructure work, and we'll look at that again because we're in definite need in my ward of infrastructure. But housing is a big thing as well. For me, I look for ways to really, really, really be in the intent of our American Rescue Fund, and that's really to help out the people and really keep people afloat and get them back to the levels that they were before this horrible pandemic really came and changed life. And that comes in businesses and anything from rental assistance, business assistance, all of those things are in my mind, and we need to look for ways to deliver those things. I'm not going to sit back and look at $33 million, whatever it is, and not see, much of it get in the hands of the people, which will affect our bottom line for the city.
Alderman Shawn Gregory, anything from the committee of the whole that sticks out? Because that's going to be after the budget meeting where you could pass the budget after dealing with all these amendments. So anything you're seeing at the committee of the whole that people should know about?
Nothing huge. It's always worthwhile to if you have some time to come on out to the city council or watch it online, I think the more and more people get involved and share their voices, the better we can be as a whole council and city government.
Well, hopefully we can help people do that with the council roundup. So I'll do my darndest.
You do a good job.
Who knows? I mean, who knows? It depends on how long tonight's meeting is. Honestly, if it's a 4-hour meeting, it's going to be real hard to find those highlights. But I think
you might have to have an extended version.
I guess so. Yeah. But I do. I think it's important that people do stay plugged in as to what's going on in their city. And I've said it before. I don't live in Springfield, but a lot of my tax dollars are spent in Springfield. So it's important that we, even if you don't live in Springfield and you live in the surrounding areas, you know how the city of Springfield operates, because likely you're spending your tax dollars in Springfield.
Absolutely. Well, hey, if there's anything I can do to entice you to move to Ward 2, we got open arms to you.
Right on. No, I appreciate that. Alderman Shawn Gregory, always good to talk with you. Good luck tonight. And, man, I tell you, it's going to be a long one. I don't feel for you guys I do feel for you guys because it's going to be a very, very, very long evening.
Nah, hey, once it's over, and we'll continue to work.
All right, Alderman Shawn Gregory here on the WMAY Morning News Feed. We'll chat again soon, all right? Take care.
All right, now, have a good day.
You too. Now, 7:22, let's take a look at that forecast where you've got a high of around